Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we concluded our fight against Team Rocket in Goldenrod City. We were able to drive them out of the radio tower and save all Pokemon nationwide. And then I also showed off a couple of random things that I really didn't know where to put, so it's nice to have that all squared away. Anyway, this time, we were given a clear bell by the director of the radio tower, and we were told to come here to Ecruteak City to see what we could do with it, so I think that's what we are going to be doing. Now, I'm going to recommend something right here. You want to buy a lot of Pokeballs. This is what I've got right now, and you might be wondering, why didn't you buy Ultra Balls? Well, I've gone over every shop in the game up to this point. Do you recall anywhere that we could buy Ultra Balls? No. That is because, as of this point in the game, there are no shops accessible to us where we can buy Ultra Balls. For some horrendously strange reason, those items are not available to us yet. I'm gonna stop myself really quick right here for a little bit of post-commentary. Now, I should clarify something here before someone points it out in the comments, because I know someone is going to. This fight that we are going into later on in this video is not actually required to be done at this very instant in the story, so if you so wanted to, you could progress the story onwards to a point where there is a shop accessible to you where you can buy Ultra Balls, and then come back and do what we're going to be doing today later, if you so want to. I'm personally not going to be doing this because I like doing this fight right here, and I think it makes the game flow a little better. But if you'd like to give yourself a better chance, there is no harm in waiting. Anyway, now that I've got that clarified, back to the video. Anyway, I should also point out I gave Heracross the King's Rock, and I took the experience share and gave it to Crobat, since Crobat's a little bit behind on the levels. So that's what we're going to be working with this time around. Anyway, we want to head up here to this building. Remember this building that I showed you back in episode 19, I think it was? Yeah, we can go in here now, and something different has happened. He'll still block our way, but if we speak to him, a momentous event has occurred. I beg your pardon, but I must ask you to leave. Ah, the sound of that clear bell. It's sublime. I've never heard so beautiful a sound before. That bell's chime is indicative of the bearer's soul. You may be able to make it through Tin Tower. Please, do go in. And he will let us through. Very cool. So now we can head through this little underground tunnel, and up here, and it seems there's a bit of a trial awaiting us. I recommend you have your Pokemon healed for this. Legend has it that upon the emergence of a trainer who has the ability to touch the souls of Pokemon, a Pokemon will come forth to put that trainer to the test at the Tin Tower. The legend has come true. The legendary Pokemon Suicune has arrived. We, the Wise Trio, shall test your worthiness to go inside. Yep, as luck would have it, or rather, fate would have it, Suicune has descended upon the Tin Tower now that we have seen it elsewhere in the region. Here we have Sage Gaku, and he is going to start out with a Noctowl. Now, I don't really consider these to be boss fights, plus, like, they're really not all too terribly difficult. So we're just going to go through these fights as normal. Now, I should point out, as far as I know, I don't think the encounter with Suicune on the route by Mount Mortar is actually required for this event to transpire. Kind of interesting, actually. And also, I think you can technically skip the encounter at Seamwood City if you just don't walk north. I don't know what happens if you do that. I've never tried it. I don't know if the game will force you to have that encounter first, and the battle with Eugene. I'm really honestly not sure. So anyone who actually knows about that, feel free to discuss it in the comments, because I'm legitimately curious to know what happens. Anyway, he also has a Flareon on his team, and this continues the trend of people in Ecruteak really liking the family of Eevee evolutions for some reason. I'm really not sure why, but them's the ropes. Now I should point out, these battles against the Wise Trio here, they are only in Crystal. They're not in Gold and Silver, and they're not in the remakes, so if you're playing any of those games, these battles actually do not happen. So yeah, Crystal players get something a bit unique in that regard. Stronger than we thought, perhaps. Ah, so it is you who claim to have seen Suicune, Entei, and Raikou while they slept. Unbelievable. Legend has it they can't be seen while they sleep. Can you be trusted with the truth? I must ascertain your worthiness. Not as much of a paragraph from this guy, huh? Second up, we have Sage Masa. And he has yet another Noctowl. I believe all three of these guys will open up with a level 32 Noctowl, and then they will follow up with one of the Generation 1 evolutions of Eevee. This guy is either going to have a Vaporeon or a Jolteon, I don't remember which. But yeah, pretty standard fare right here. Also, we didn't actually manage to knock out this Noctowl. Luckily, its Hypnosis missed, which is really, really quite lucky. And down it goes. Alright, now let's see who's up next. Oh, Crobat gets level 29. That's really, really nice. Still no wing attack, though. Alright, next up is Jolteon, so I think we are going to be making the switch over to Marowak right here, because Marowak, of course, as I've said like 1,000 times already, is pecking ground type moves, which Jolteon is weak to. Now let's hope we can actually hit it. I've had bad luck with the accuracy of these moves even without a sand attack, but it looks like we've actually got a bit of luck on our side. Ooh, that's disappointing. Alright, hopefully we can hit twice in a row. Oh wow, we actually did. I was not counting on that being the thing to happen, but that's pretty nice. Alright, get a little bit more experience, and we have defeated Sage number 2. I will tell you the truth. In the past, there were 2 9-tier towers here. The Brass Tower. Worth noting, this is the only time the former name of the Burn Tower is mentioned in any game, as far as I know. Very interesting stuff. The Brass Tower, which was said to awaken Pokémon, and the Tin Tower, where Pokémon were said to rest. The view from the tops of the towers must have been magnificent. At the time, an immense, silver-colored Pokémon was said to make its roost atop the Brass Tower. However, about 150 years ago, a lightning bolt struck one of the towers. It was engulfed in flames that raged for 3 days. A sudden downpour finally put out the blaze. And that is how the burned tower came to be. Fascinating thing, I might have mentioned this back when we encountered the 3 legendary beasts in the burned tower for the first time. It is speculated that the 3 legendary Pokemon Raikou, Entei, and Suicune are meant to respectively represent the bolt that struck the tower, the fire that consumed the tower, and the downpour that put out the tower. Really, really cool stuff right there. Let me see your power. Man, this guy got another downgrade. This guy only had 1 text box. Alright, so this is the last one, the last Sage, Koji. Gonna open up with yet another Noctowl, which should not surprise any of you. And I think you know what his other Pokemon is going to be, considering the pattern we've established thus far. So I think Electabuzz is going to carry this fight pretty well. Alright. Get its health almost down there, and we actually get the paralysis off on it, which is really, really cool. And it looks like it's going to use Foresight, which honestly, I don't think that's going to help it all that much, so I think we just use another Thunder Punch, and down it goes. Cool beans, very cool beans. Get a little experience, probably not going to get any level ups, unfortunately. And next up is Vaporeon, to the surprise of nobody, I would assume. And Thunder Punch, again, is definitely going to be a very, very good move against this thing because it is quite clearly a water type. I mean, it's blue, and, like, it's got fins and stuff on it, so I would assume it's a water type. And we get the paralysis off again, which is really kind of crazy. I don't know what the odds of paralysis are on Thunder Punch. I know it's somewhere between 10 and 30%, so that's pretty good. Down it goes, and that is the last Sage defeated. Too strong. Why? Are you the trainer who is awaited by the legendary Pokémon? I see. We, the Wise Trio, have been given the responsibility of protecting the legendary Pokémon. We are to allow passage only to those people who possess the power and soul of truth. And the clear bell, but that's a moot point. Please, do go on and enter the Tin Tower ahead. Suicune will put you to the test. Now, what do these guys say? Do they just repeat their speech? They do repeat their speech, okay. Well, in case anyone's curious about the lore, you have this little opportunity right here to hear the story again, but for now, I think we are going to go onwards. Now, even though I didn't take a whole lot of damage in that fight, and I assume you did not take any damage either in the grand scheme of things, I highly recommend you go back and heal before coming out here. I also recommend saving, because, duh. Tin Tower, a legendary Pokemon, is said to roost here. Anyway, without further ado, now that we hold the clear bell in our possession, I think we're going to end things. No, we are going to go right on inside. This is the legendary Pokemon Suicune. Anyone who has seen the front cover of Pokemon Crystal will be able to recognize this thing. This is what is known as a legendary Pokemon, even though we have technically encountered legendary Pokemon in this series before. Raikou. This is the first one that we are actually going to be attempting to catch. This is technically a boss fight, and I think I might as well give its moveset. It knows Leer, Bubble Beam, Rain Dance, and Gust. Honestly, it's not too terribly huge of a threat, which is nice. Now, it is very defensive and bulky, so I'm hoping I can use a Thunder Punch on it, paralyze it, and not knock it out. And it actually took a little less than half damage, so I think it might be okay to hit it with another Thunder Punch. It's risky, but I'm gonna try it. I hope this works. Now, I gotta say, I really, really like Suicune's design. Like, just look at it. Oh my god, I got the paralysis too, that's awesome. Like, just look at it. It's such a cool design. I mean, it's really cool and blue and cool. I'm really, really good at coming up with varied words. I should get out a thesaurus from time to time. It's got like those ribbons and that big flowing mane and all that, and anyone who's seen this thing in the show would know that it's just a really, really elegant design. And of course, it's the first legendary Pokemon that I ever encountered and captured in all of my years playing Pokemon, so obviously, I'm pretty partial to this thing. I think it's really cool. Now, just because I feel like being dumb and it's at like 1 health and paralyzed, I'm gonna try a Pokeball, see what happens. You never know, we might get lucky. 1, 2, 3. What the? Oh my god. Someone's gonna come into the comments and proclaim that to be staged. I swear to god that was not staged. Oh man, so that's how you catch Suicune, everybody. That has got to be the easiest time I have ever had capturing this thing. Ever. Wow. Okay. Now, I should mention, Suicune is also known as the embodiment of the North Wind. This is something I would have explained while we were fighting it, but it's already caught. And also, the guy outside using a motorcycle. You're ruining this moment for me, buddy. Oh my god. Anyway, Suicune, the Aurora Pokemon, 6'7", 412 pounds. A lot bigger than you'd think it'd be, actually. This divine Pokemon blows around the world, always in search of a pure reservoir. I am in complete shock that that just happened, and I'm also kind of kicking myself because I wasted a lot of money on those Great Balls. Oh my word. Anyway, send it to the PC. Awesome. Too awesome, even. Dude, you don't even know the half of it, Yuzine. I've never seen a battle that great. Yeah, neither have I. That was truly inspiring to see. Suicune was tough, but you were even more incredible, David. I heard Suicune's mystic power summons a rainbow-colored Pokemon. Maybe, just maybe, what went on today will cause that Pokemon to appear. I'm going to study the legends more. Thanks for showing me that fantastic battle. What battle? Later, David. And off he goes, and we're actually allowed to speak to the wise trio here. According to legend, when the souls of Pokemon and humans commute, from the heavens descends a Pokemon of rainbow colors. I said commute instead of commune, I'm sorry, I'm just completely gobsmacked that that just happened. Could it mean the legendary Pokemon are testing as humans? When the Brass Tower burned down, 3 nameless Pokemon were said to have perished. It was tragic. However, a rainbow-colored Pokemon, in other words, Ho-Oh, descended from the sky and gave new life to the 3 Pokemon. They are Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. That is what they say. That hint in the Ruins of Alph is suddenly starting to come together a little bit, so we're going to have to keep that in mind for later as well. The 2 towers are said to have been built to foster friendship and hope between Pokemon and people. That was 700 years ago, but the ideal still remains important today. Indeed it does. Anyway, now that that happened, I think we're going to head over to Mahogany Town because there's a couple of things I would like to show, so I will meet you guys right over there. And here we are in Mahogany Town. Now, I still cannot believe that that was how the super epic climactic battle against Suicune went down. Like, are you serious? But anyway, once you have ousted Team Rocket from pretty much all of existence, while visiting Mahogany Town, try a Rage Candy Bar. This store will actually be open as an actual store. Visit Grandma's shop. She sells stuff that nobody else has. Very cool. Go right on inside, and there is indeed a shop here. Welcome, how may I help you? You can buy Rage Candy Bars, which are basically potions. Great Balls, Super Potions, Hyper Potions, Antidotes, Paralyze Heals, Super Repels, Revives, and Flower Mail. So yeah, if you were lamenting the fact that Mahogany Town didn't actually have a shop, this is pretty much as good as a regular Pokemart, which is really cool. I should also note, the Team Rocket hideout is still down here and you are allowed to explore at any time, but honestly, I've cleared the place out. There's nothing else in there for us, no Easter egg or anything. Everyone's hauled it out, I got all the items, so it's really just there as more trivia than anything. I should also note, right over here, this guy who was standing in the way is actually gone, and we are allowed to step out onto Route 44, which is really, really exciting. However, I think it's also something we're going to be saving for the next video. So, this past episode of Pokemon Crystal, we traveled to the Tin Tower, and we had, quite frankly, the stupidest battle against Suicune that I have ever seen. Like, I swear to God, that might even beat Chugaconroy's battle against Suicune, and I promise it wasn't staged, because I know someone in the comments is going to try and claim it is. Oh man, I just can't even get over it. And next time on Pokemon Crystal, we're going to be exploring Route 44 and possibly even beyond, because believe it or not, our adventure in the Johto region is almost over. We've only got one leg to it left. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.